Hi, I'm Michael. I'm from Scotland and I'm working in Koga City and I teach specifically at junior high school. Originally I worked in Fukushima for a long time and I was looking for a bit of a new scenery, and that's when I got in contact with one of the support leaders in working for Joytalk, and she really encouraged me to apply for them, and when I joined it was a great experience, so I'm very happy to join. Yes, I did. It was a very interesting way of doing things. It was very new for me, of course, and new for everyone. The Joytalk staff were incredibly helpful. From my moving from another city to getting here, they arranged everything. They made sure that it was all quite clean and quite very quick and direct, so that I didn't have any problems. When I arrived, I got training. It was one-to-one. It was all during the time of testing and such, so that I didn't have to have a big group training, so it was very good, so there was no risk there. Getting into the schools, it was a very kind of easy process. It was always direct travel to each area to help get me in and get me settled, and kept everything very safe. Yes, of course. To start off with some of the good points is that quite unique thing to Japan in the schools is the interaction between students and teachers. I thought was very different from my experience when I was a child. It feels more like a larger family. The homeroom teachers and teachers feel more like either parents or kind of big brother, big sister roles to the kids. There's a lot more help and support there for every level, and that was really, really surprising when I first arrived. And being a part of that actually made me feel really, really happy, but also a little bit sad for my own experience. I really wished I'd had that kind of close connection with my teachers when I was a kid. As for some of the more kind of difficult aspects, probably one of the hardest ones for me is the fact that the culture is very different. Their way of thinking is very different. So quite a lot of the time when I ask quite direct questions, looking for information or hey, for example, I just did a lesson. I didn't necessarily feel that it was a perfect lesson. There was maybe a few things that didn't feel right to me, and I try and speak to some of the teachers or even some of the kids themselves. I'm like, hey, what about this do you feel could improve, or what do you feel about this that I could change to make it more fun for you, or more kind of engaging for the students, or kind of help students kind of push back some of the barriers that they feel they had. And quite often the not direct answers or quite vague answers is quite difficult when you're trying to improve or trying to kind of push forward to become better at the job that you're doing, and not getting those direct answers can be quite tough when you're really trying hard to do the best you can. Yes, I teach at junior high. For that, it's not so much like elementary school when there's playtime, there's set times for interaction. For junior high school, the kids are at the age where they just want to hang out by themselves or hang out with their friends, not necessarily with teachers. But in that, I think one of the things that I always do in lessons is that sometimes I'll pose a question, either about culture or specifically about where I'm from, and I try and use that as hey, try and think about this, or what do you guys think? And quite often I'll get students come to me in the classrooms to either ask more about that topic or to give their opinions on the topic. I find that's really a good way. I also make sure that near the end of my working time, the club activities start. I usually spend the last 15 to 20 minutes going around, speaking to the kids at the clubs, kind of trying to get involved where I can. But of course, quite a lot of the sports clubs are quite rigorous schedules, so it's kind of hard to get in there. But some of the other clubs, such as computer club or art club, are really a joy to go and visit. As for myself, I'm actually kind of been left in charge of the things such as ACHEN, which is an English proficiency test. So I do all the planning and all the scheduling for the students who wish to practice for those interview tests, and speech contests. There is presentation contests. There's a number of things involving English throughout the school year, which I've been given the lead of. So being able to interact with students there and is such a great time to get to know students a bit better. In a big classroom for between 20 to almost 35 kids, it can be hard to get to know students individually, but these opportunities are a great time to actually get to know some of the students and find out more about them and learn about what you can connect with them to bring English into what they know, and it really helps kind of boost their confidence in using English. Well, for me, I think one of the best things that I've had for Joytalk is the local area support has been so helpful. From little things such as just a quick question about a situation or an event coming up, to breaking down having your car go flat, and even on a day off, nothing to do with work, one of the support leaders came as soon as it was possible and helped me jumpstart the car. There's the fact that they're always there to support you has been an absolute joy, and they're incredibly friendly too. So I've definitely made some friends here. Even if in the future I move back to my own country or I move to another prefecture, I'm sure that we'll still keep in contact.